So that's what y'all want to see, huh?
Behind closed doors, yeah, we talk about that. We call each other out, you know, and that's very uncomfortable.
Keep going, man. We got boys on the road.
Anyone?
Like, you have a year left on your contract.
It ain't no doggone tomorrow, fellas. What are you gonna bring to the doggone church? Are you gonna bust somebody in their mouth? Are you gonna do your doggone job? Are you gonna pray from your doggone chest? Are you gonna pray from your heart and get everything you doggone got? Cause I'ma do that.
What's up, Eagle Nation, man? We just got a big dub against the Steelers, man. Back to work, man. Flag is fly. Ah!
Keep going, man. We got boys on the road.
What y'all, what?
I love it. Great job, Pete. Way to do it.
And we all saw on the field Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown with that touchdown celebration after that big play. We asked A.J. Brown in the locker room what that dance was all about, and he told us that was everyone's message to shut up. Message received. Sending it back to you guys.
Today's LFG player of the game is none other than the quarterback, Jalen Hurts. What a day, man. 25 of 32, 290, great rating. You're so efficient from the start. Tell me about what that passing game, what really clicked today, because you guys were on fire from the start.
Well, man, I'm telling you, look, you beat me a couple times, and now you're giving me trophies, man. That's how you do it.
Hey, you earned it. What are you talking about?
Well, no, it's tons of respect for you. Love seeing what you're doing right now, and I just think, you know how it is playing this game and playing this position. It's all about finding the rhythm, you know, and for all 11 to be on the same page when we go out there and execute. And I think we're ready to find a good rhythm this year, a rhythm that we hadn't found
for a long time this year, but that's what great teams are able to do. Win in multiple ways, and I think we showed that we can win in this way as well. So it was a great team game, team win.
Yeah, it sure was. And I think that rhythm that you talk about, too, in the pass game, what I loved, and I told my partner KB up here all day, was like just seeing you catch that ball, find AJ, and just that ball comes out of your hands. Like, that was the most rhythmic I've seen in a long time. Is there anything different today that you were seeing? Because to me, you're unstoppable when you play like that.
Well, I think just, like I said, throughout the week, you know, I've talked a long time about continuity and building a rhythm and being on the same page. And I just think, you know, after everything we kind of went through this week, we were able to find that. And I think we were kind of forced to find it, but it was all for the better. And so, you know, you have those different voices and different rhythms and different dynamics changing throughout from year to year. It's so important to find that chemistry, you know, with the OC and our vision and what we're trying to do. And I'm hoping we continue to trend in the right direction and we'll be able to win football games in multiple ways moving forward.
Yeah. Hey, one thing I'm thinking about every time I see that tush push is, how do you feel about that? I did a lot of sneaks, but no one was pushing me, and I didn't get hit that much. But I see your neck bent back. Tell me what a Monday morning's like after 3 or 4 of those in a game.
Monday morning's fine, man. Monday morning's fine, especially after a win. She just said, you know, that's 10 wins in a row, and that sounds amazing, but 11 sounds better. We just want to keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, you're a great team player. I love watching you play. Keep it up, man, and we'll see you down the road. Congratulations.
So that's what y'all wanted to see, huh?
Jalen, you said you'll figure this out. Is that what we saw tonight?
We found a way to win the game.
Did you come in thinking you were going to pass like that at the beginning of the game, or was it based on how they were playing?
You know, as we've said before, you know, this, you know, multiple ways to win, and that was kind of where we leaned today, and we were able to find ways to make plays and execute and finish in the end zone and find a way to win. It's good complementary football.
What was clicking with AJ and DeVonta today? I mean, they had combined 23 targets.
Yeah, I think, as I said, you know, when you're able to win in multiple ways, obviously talented and the opportunities are there, but it comes down to having good discernment of when to do something and when not to. And so we want to, I've always said and believed that you want to make sure that all of your tools are sharp when you need them. So when it's time to use them, you can go. And I don't think there's a doubt in that. You know, I think, frankly, there's an effort there. The approach was a little different this week, and you know, the grass will be green where you water it. And we decided to water it, and we kind of saw the fruits of our labor in that. Obviously, we've been watering the running game a good bit, and it's kind of natural to put an emphasis on one thing and kind of take an emphasis off of another and see what you guys have kind of seen. And so, you know, we want to just continue to be well-rounded, push to be well-rounded and water all areas of our yard.
Jalen, when you sat down, you said, you know, is this what you guys wanted to see? It was a week, you know, a lot of scrutiny with the passing game. Does that make a performance like this any sweeter or better for you?
Well, the scrutiny's never ending. It's nothing new, and so that's something that I find a thrill in, and I appreciate being told I can't and that we can't. And I know that I lead this team, and it takes a lot out of it. It demands a lot out of you, and I just want to show up and be the best teammate, quarterback, and you know, be the best I can be for the guys on the team.
DeVonta talked about there being uncomfortable conversations this past week. AJ said there were extended meetings beyond what you guys normally do. We'll talk about the passing game. You know, can you take us a little bit inside how that approach went this past week?
No, I won't.
Jalen, what's a challenge when you play a Mike Tomlin defense?
I think a Mike Tomlin team, physical, disruptive, tough. The whole conference, the whole division is tough. But, man, I just realized who you were, man. Man, good to see you traveling up here. That means a lot. It means a lot. But playing against a Steelers team is always a tough challenge, and you know, it was definitely a test, a battle. You know, they're coming after the ball and playing physical ball, and you know, it was a great opponent we played out there.
Jalen, there's a report your finger was broken. Is it broken, and did it impact your play at all today?
It is broken, and it did impact my play.
How? Is it just was tougher to?
Yeah. I mean, it's broken, so yeah.
Jalen, you mentioned complimentary football. To close the game, it's about 10.5-minute drive. What does that say about the offense and the well-rounded nature of it?
Yeah. We've been able to do that a couple times this year, and it was crucial. It was crucial. Just hats off to how Saquon has kind of been able to do that all year in those moments, and Kenny stepping up and making some of the plays he made tonight. Not foreign to that at all, and just putting it all together. Defense played a hell of a game. How they started the game off. Would love to, kind of get out and take advantage of how they're playing, in that moment. But tons to learn from in the end. Tons to learn from, and we'll kind of get back to our regular schedule routine. Put a 24-hour rule on what we do, and learn from it tomorrow and move forward.
Did that injury happen on a QB sneak against the Panthers?
It did not.
Okay. Jalen, the approach was different this week. How so?
We had a phase this year where we said we were going to be a run team and a play-action team. So, we start watering that and stop watering another part.
Jalen, I know you don't want to go into what those uncomfortable conversations were, but when you all are able to have those conversations, put in the work, and then have a result like this, what does it say about your locker room?
I think the collective. I think the thing that I always put emphasis on throughout this week was the team and the team success, and knowing that winning. I asked the question to everyone. Hey, it's gonna, we're gonna have to go do this together. Started with that, and then I said, let's not forget to keep the main thing the main thing. I said, you do know what the main thing is, right? And they were spot on. So we can't forget that. And it takes multiple. It takes everyone to win, and it can look a ton of different ways. And obviously, we need all hands on deck in that. And we have to be all for one and one for all in the sense of going out there and just trying to play our best ball and play at a high level.
Jalen, after the organization that you used, after the game, I know you had a chance to speak with Tom Brady. Did he tell you something, and what did it mean to you that he picked you out as the player of the game?
Yeah, y'all saw what I said, but man, he's obviously a great. Played it, won, tons of respect for him, and competing against him even, it was cool. Cool. I didn't know he was coming during the game, so that was kind of cool. And I think on the same note, I never, someone asked me a question a couple weeks ago about head-to-head matchups. I think it was versus Lamar, and I think that's something that you look back on later on. I don't think in that moment you try and keep it as, because it's not like basketball, you know what I mean? But try and keep it as team, as it's always about the team, and you look back at that and you reflect. If you take a step back, you see a ton of kids out there watching, Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson go at it, and that's what they see, all eyes on them. And I think for today, even all week, Russell Wilson, man, he's paved the way for a ton of guys. He's paved the way for a ton of guys, including myself. My brother loved him. I love him and still, I loved him and still loved him, and watch him do many things where people said he couldn't. And he's experienced some adversity, and he's overcome that, and he's come back stronger from it. And so to be able to go to battle against him today, a guy that I looked up to and had a ton of respect for, defied all odds with his size and, being able to go to championships and win a championship. Tons of respect for him. Definitely cool beating him. But all nothing but love for him.
Time for two more.
We're talking about watering the other parts of the offense.
what was it that you were watering? Why was that important moving forward for what you guys are trying to do?
Yeah, just wanting to be multiple, and like I said, make sure all of our tools are sharp when we need them. You know, you don't you may not need every tool in the toolbox, but just to know that it's in good shape, that doesn't hurt.
Jalen, how did the injury happen, and what's the kind of outlook for it moving forward?
You know, I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. I've known it's been at the state it's at all week, and I don't really want to put too much more into it. I can say it. I don't think it got any worse today. You know, if it's shattered, it's shattered. You know, it is what it is.
Okay. I was gonna say, Jalen, this will be it. Go ahead. In the last 2 weeks, 2 of the last 3 weeks, you had to play Baltimore, you had to play Pittsburgh, and out of a tough AFC North. Does this team, beating those teams and getting physical with them, think that makes you better down the stretch, especially coming into the playoffs and all that?
Well, I think as you just continue to grow, self-assess, and look at those things, you want to look at it as an internal thing, not necessarily who you're playing against. Obviously, there's a ton of respect for that division and how they play ball. We knew that when we played the Browns, when we played the Bengals, we played the Steelers and the Ravens, and so that multiplicity that we talk about, I think that's also in our style of play, and being able to play physical, play fast, play in space, all these different ways, and so we just want to continue to get better in all of those things.
Thanks, Jalen.
Yep.
Questions right away? Russ, you had some opportunities in the first half. I know right after the fumbles, which you didn't capitalize the way you like, and then the one in the fourth quarter that.
Yeah, I mean, we had too many penalties, throughout the game, big ones. Obviously we had that drive in the red zone. We, both teams are kind of getting after. They called on us. We get backed out. Unfortunately, that could have been a touchdown drive for us. And then we came out in the second half, and we had the flea flicker play, which is a great play. Great job by the line. Great job by Jalen getting it to me, and then Calvin made a great catch. We drive, and then just unfortunately didn't go our way there. We turned it over there, and then the red zone, the fumble. But the second half we didn't capitalize on our moments. Obviously, we only had 2 possessions, and that first possession coming out would have made it a tie game. With all the negative stuff we did. So I thought the first half we had way too many 3rd and longs. When you're 3rd and 18, I think we were 3rd and 22 on the last drive. It's just it's hard to play winning football that way.
I asked you when the possessions are limited like that, does that make every possession so even?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's why we were aggressive on the flea flicker. I thought that was a good call by Arthur. Great catch once again. We just unfortunately we the game was in striking distance, and when it was, we didn't get to finish the game the way we needed to and make plays when we needed to.
Russ, what made it so tough to run the ball today, and how much did that impact what you guys weren't able to do?
Yeah, we weren't successful on 1st and 2nd down. I mean, that's why we had so many 3rd and longs. We got to be successful on 1st and 2nd down to get positive plays, and they did a good job. They're a good football team, we got to tip our hats to them. They play way better than us tonight. It's unacceptable how we play. I think we feel like we got to be sharper, and so we just got to stay the course and know that obviously we got a big week coming up. We got to respond. We got to get ready to go, and that's where our focus has to be.
Did you also feel like there was a missed opportunity at the end of the first half in that 2-minute drill? Probably wasn't as clean.
Yeah, we thought we could get a touchdown. Boz did a great job making the field goal for us. That could have been a good thing too for us. And I think that obviously Calvin did a good job on the third and long, making it in the field goal range. I believe it was 2nd and long, 3rd and long, and I think the biggest thing is that I thought Pat played a great game. He made some plays for us. Obviously down in the red zone, his touchdown catch was great. Tried to put it up for him. He made a great play. There's some positives, but not enough of them. And and so we have to look at the film, see what we can do better. There's a lot more there. And like I said, I think it's a very simplistic game. I mean, I think in the sense that, if we're successful on 1st and 2nd down, it gives us a chance to have 3rd and shorts. And that's why we converted and scored a touchdown that drive. We had had a couple 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, I think even, and so that's how we got to play the game, especially when it's a good football team.
It seems like there's always debate with the Steelers. You guys are just a good team or a great team. You could argue the Eagles are the best team you guys played this year. Just how far away do you think you guys are to making that statement that you guys are a great team?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to be able to, we'll have to determine how great we can be. There's a lot more football left, and I think we have the right guys. I think that the biggest thing is that I think any great team has to respond. You're going to have adversity. You're going to have ups and downs throughout the season. I've been on great teams before. Sometimes you don't win them all. I thought the biggest thing is that for us, when the game's in striking distance, we gotta tie it up. We gotta make the plays. We gotta find a way. And unfortunately, we didn't do that tonight. We've done that all year though. That's been a good thing for us. So we can't flinch. We got to get better. And we got to be cleaner. For this week, obviously going on the road.
Second game without George Pickens. Where are you guys feeling his absence most? And if it lingers into next week, what do you have to do to overcome that?
George is doing everything he can to get back, obviously. He's a tremendous competitor. We got guys that we trust. Obviously, I trust Calvin, I trust Van, I trust Scotty, I trust Big Mike, I trust Muth, all those guys. And so it's obviously he's one of the world's best. Obviously having George Pickens out there on the field is a good thing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But either way, we still have to respond and find ways to make plays. I think the storyline in this game really is just simply first and second down. We weren't good enough, and third down we just, when you're playing a championship caliber football team, you can't be 3rd and 18. So that's where we can fix that. I think that we can and we will. And we're going against another really good football team next week, so we got to respond.
With results of other games, you guys clinched a playoff spot. What's your reaction to just being in the postseason?
It's a great thing for us. That's our expectation, but we want to win this division. That's our goal. That's our first goal. Is to win the division. We have a lot of respect for this division, the teams, coaches, and the players in this division. At the same time, we got to go take it. We got to go take it. We got to go find a way on the road in Baltimore, which we know it's going to be a great football game. And I think the biggest thing is just we got to do whatever it takes to win, and that's really all that matters is finding ways to win, and especially in high level competition.
Let's talk about the challenge in the next 10 days. A lot of football coming off the runs.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we get to the playoffs, sometimes you play. When you may play on a Sunday, then you may play on a Saturday. It's just, I think the biggest thing for us, our practices set the tone for that. I think that we prepare the right way. Obviously, I think the biggest thing for us is not looking at the days, just looking at the opportunity, and not worrying about that part of it. We'll be ready to go. We'll make sure that we get healed up, healthy as possible, and then at the same time, make sure that we have a great game plan to go capitalize.
Steve, on those first and second downs, was it something that they were doing that you guys weren't successful, or was it kind of just an execution factor?
They just played better than us in those situations. Honestly, they made tackles, they made plays, they played good football tonight. Like I said, you got to give respect when it's due. They did better than us tonight. And I think the biggest thing is that we got to clean that up, we got to tighten that up. And like I said, when you're playing a really good football team, you can't hurt yourself. We hurt ourselves too much tonight with the penalties, and it was a game that they turned the ball over a couple times. We got to capitalize on it. We can't turn it over either, and we know that, and we're going to respond. I think the great thing is we got the right character guys. If anybody believes, I believe. In who we have and the guys that we have, the temperament, the character, the work ethic, we shot ourselves in the foot too much today in key situations to tie the game up or take the lead or whatever it may have been. So, that's where that game was lost, I felt like.
Two more guys.
The ball the pitch that Najee fumbled, was that a play that you changed at the line of scrimmage?
Say it one more time.
The fumble that Najee had, was that a play that you changed at the line of scrimmage?
No, that was the play we had going on. It just unfortunately didn't work out.
Last one. Anyone?
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. You haven't done that. You haven't done that for me, and that's our mindset. So it's easy for us to have these tough conversations to call each other out because we know what we want at the end, and it makes it easier when we're close. So.
Is there anything two more for AJ? Is there anything that being on the same page this week is that to prepare for that to take the next couple of games? Is that work to do?
Yeah, I think like I said earlier, the long repetitive meetings, on top of the meetings that we already have. I think we may keep doing that. So,
How long? It's not all.
No, it was just a point of emphasis this week, and I think we're gonna move forward. They were pretty long. They were just added throughout our long day already. I'm not complaining about that anyway. But when you talk about something 10 times, you're like, okay, we got it. But it's needed though. It's needed, and who cares how long we stay in there because we come out and we put it on performance like today. So.
It's not often you and DeVonta both get double-digit targets, especially when you're playing from the head. What does that do when both you guys get going?
That's good, man. It's good, man. I think the first drive was really good, man. DeVonta got going. I got going a little bit early, and it got the offense rolling. Even though we settled for 3. It gave everybody a lot of confidence. We moved the ball down the field. So.
What's the streak like? You guys, I know you had more to go, but what's this consistency been like for this team to be able to find different ways to win and they keep this going?
It's important to find a way to win. It's tough to win in this league. And we're not taking it for granted. I know it's 10th win in a row, but we're not taking it for granted. We're not satisfied. We're trying to find ways to get better and keep growing, and be accountable. And listen and trying to grow. So I think that's the most important thing moving forward. So.
Man, we had a penalty going in that forced us to settle for a field goal. We turned the ball over on the short field and got no points. And there were several possession downs on defense where we had opportunities to tackle ball carriers in the flat, and we missed those tackles, and that produced extended drives and thus points. And so that's life in our business. It's not anything mystical. It's very fundamental. We got to play discipline. We got to secure the ball. We got to tackle. And we didn't do some of those fundamental things well enough tonight to secure victory. And so, although it sucks, man, we learn and we proceed and move forward. From a health standpoint, Justin Fields, man, had an abdominal injury. Don't know the extent of that. On that slide, he injured his abdominal. Dante Jackson had a back injury, wasn't able to return. And TJ had an ankle. I think that can be described as a low ankle at this juncture, but I have more information for you the next time we get together. Questions?
Mike, you guys were fighting back in the turnover down in their 26 or whatever was big ahead when Najee's fumble.
But as I mentioned, there were several plays like that were significant. Settling for a field goal when we had the ball maybe around the 1 is significant. Not making tackles in the flat when we have a chance to make those tackles on possession downs are significant. And so, you can point to one play, but more than anything, when I look at it through the lens in which I look at it, we weren't good enough in some fundamental areas tonight, and we own that, particularly as coaches.
Mike, offensively, what kept you from being more consistent?
Again, we started slow, but again, you got to give some credit to those guys. I wasn't necessarily overly concerned about the start. The starts are not going to define us. But again, I think largely when you look at the big picture, it's those fundamental things I outlined.
Like what wasn't working in the pass defense tonight?
I don't know that, I feel that way. I just thought that we didn't win enough possession downs. They possessed the ball. Like I mentioned, we didn't tackle well enough, and that's life.
26 seconds to call a timeout at the TJ sack. What was your thought process?
I got caught up, man, in some information, and I'll just leave it at that.
Coach, what wasn't working with the run game?
They did a nice job. They get in those 6-man fronts, man, to make you block individual, and one man wins a block, man, and it creates issues for you. And I thought they did a nice job.
It looked like Darnell was punched on that scuffle in there. What explanation did you receive from the officials?
Not a sufficient one.
Like, how do you keep this loss from snowballing and carrying into the next 2 games?
It's a loss. Let's not get dramatic.
Mike, playoffs are always a goal. You clinch a playoff spot from some outside. Does that matter to you?
Not as I stand here today. We had a game to play today. We wanted to win it, and we didn't. And so, some of that other stuff is less relevant to us.
Anyone else?
Just to clarify, did they call Darnell for blocking him into...
I'll let them explain that sequence.
I believe there is a pool report coming.
Yeah, it is. That's why. Why should I explain it?
You've been asking about the missed tackles. How much of that was concerning, just how they were able to bounce off your guys?
Again, as I outlined in my opening statement, I thought it was significant.
Anyone else?
Thanks, guys.
Last week you were a little upset about the passing game. What turned it around today?
Just being on the same page.
How'd you get there?
Constantly just talking through things. Knew what the defense was going to give us. Made a few adjustments and just roll with it.
The third downs, what was so big on those?
I think it was like cover 2 every third down. So just knowing what they were in.
I'm sure you guys thought that it'd be a game where you have to pass like this. Does it feel pretty good that you're able to make it happen when you need to?
Yeah, I mean, we always knew that it was going to come a time where we need to rely on throwing the ball, and it happened, and we were there to answer.
What did you think of the way Jalen stepped up today?
I mean, have all the confidence in him. We know that can happen. It was just a matter of getting that one team that just wanted to stop the run and wanted us to win the game through the air.
Were they doing extra additional to stop the run?
Yeah. The way that they play defense, they add a lot of guys into the box and things like that. So we knew that coming in.
Yeah, you had a lot of stuff in the middle crossing routes. Was that just to combat their man defense?
Yeah, and like I said, we just knew what they were in. So just taking what they give us.
To win in many different ways offensively at this point, coming back from last week to this, what state is this offense right now?
I think really just whatever we have to be. If we have to be a team that's going to run the ball, however many times we're going to do that. A team that's going to have to throw the ball, however many times we're going to do that. So whatever it takes to win, I feel like this team's going to do it.
Does that give you a lot of confidence, knowing that you guys can do it either way?
The confidence was always there. It was just a matter of getting the opportunity to show it, to do it.
How big was Kenny tonight?
Big time, man. A lot of respect for Kenny and the things that he do. Coming in, when he do come in, he makes plays all the time. So, the big third down conversion that he had. I mean, can't say enough about Kenny.
DeVonta, just combine most targets that you and AJ have got this entire season. What does that say about the fact that you guys can get the ball?
I think it just came down to, like I said, we knew we were going to have to throw the ball, and we did that, and we were ready for it. We was ready for the challenge. We was ready to make those plays, and it was just a lot of communication going on. We all on the same page.
Can you take us inside the building, like at least maybe this past week when you guys saw, Steelers figured out if this was going to be a big part of the game plan, and obviously with everything going on about whether the past game can play at this level?
I mean, we didn't treat it like any other, like it was just like the same as any week. So we just went in. We kind of expected, like I said, they were going to try to stop the run. Like I said, you just waiting on the opportunity.
DeVonta, you said you guys got a chance to show it that you can do it. How important, or is that important this late in the season to show the league that you can do it?
I don't think you have to prove nobody but yourself. Prove yourself right. So, like I said, we got the opportunity. We knew we could do it. We went out there and did it, and we did a good job. No matter what it is we have to do, we're ready for the challenge.
When you look at these last 2 weeks, though, isn't it kind of like how powerful this offense is? You can win 1 week with the running game, and then come back with the back end. You can do it on both ends, right?
Yeah, it's great when you have a team that can do that, and we plan on continuing to build on that.
How good does a win feel like this after all that noise that was happening outside of the building this week?
I don't think the noise affected us. We knew what was going on. It was never a problem. So it was just normal week for us.
After last week, were you confident
that you were on the same page tonight? You said you were on the same page. Last week you said you weren't. How did you get on the same page?
Just constant communication. Talking through things. Talking about what we see and things like that.
Were you confident that you guys would be able to do that in a week to figure it out?
Yeah, like I told you last week, every week is different. Last week we just happened not to be on the same page. This week we were. So you have to treat every week differently, and treat every week as one.
What goes into that? Being able to evaluate yourself, see what you need to work on, and address those issues?
A lot of tough conversation. Have those uncomfortable conversations with each other. And I think that's why this team is so close, and that's what makes this team so good. Is everybody can have those uncomfortable conversations with each other, and nobody feels no type of way.
What stood out about Jalen's performance tonight?
Taking what the defense gave him. We knew what we were going to get. We were constantly talking throughout the game, and that's what we talked about. We know they're going to play this cover. Let's just take what they give us, get the ball to us, and we're gonna do the rest.
With those uncomfortable conversations, how do you guys get to a point where you can have them?
we was always there to have those conversations. There was never a time we couldn't have those conversations.
Far away.
Cam, Russ, the way Russ put it was it was just unacceptable the way you guys played today. How would you evaluate today's performance?
You know, I think we didn't get off the field enough on defense, offensive-wise, not enough points. Missed plays for splash on all sides of the ball. I thought our special teams played really well. One turnover, and I thought they played really well. But defense and offense below the line. Can't pout. We got to learn from it. We're not afforded a lot of time, so we got to have a memory like a goldfish. It's got to move on. Not to say that we don't respect who we just played, but the clock is ticking, and guys got to get right. We got to learn from our mistakes and move on.
Cam, what was happening on some of all those time-consuming drives that happened for the birdies and balls?
Yeah, I think we didn't do a good job of tackling, especially on the edge. We can get them in third and long. We didn't take advantage of that. We talk about plastering. I thought a couple times they were able to, sustain drives by QB mobility, but we had to do a better job of finishing those plays on the defensive side of the ball, which we didn't.
Did you talk to DJ? Do you think there's any chance he'll play against Baltimore?
We'll see. Fingers crossed. Steeler faithful is hopefully he recovers fast. But if he's not able to go, I like to think we're well equipped to get these guys right and go into the Lions Den and the Baltimore Ravens.
Along those lines, help us through your game. You see him go down and grab at his left leg.
We've been bit by the injury bug before, but you feel bad for a guy that works his tail off. But hopefully I think we'll get him back soon. But, I'm not a doctor, so we'll see what happens.
Does it matter, Cam, take any amount of satisfaction that you guys did punch your playoff spot with some outside help today? You did know that?
Good job, but, there's bigger fish to fry. We're not just trying to squeeze into the playoffs, but, it's nice to know that we don't have to wait till week 18 to figure out if we're in the playoffs or not. We have a playoff team. We've done that before this game. We played a quality playoff opponent. Didn't have our best showing, but there's a lot of ball in front of us. Now we're guaranteed what's our record now? 10-4. So we're guaranteed 4 games. I know we got 3 on the regular and then 1 in the playoffs, but I like to get this thing going the right way.
Yeah, now that you've played the Eagles, you talk about the challenge of having to stop Hurts, Barkley, Brown, Smith, and whether the concentration of stopping Barkley affected their passing game?
I think there was a lot of yak. There was a lot of times where, I thought we were able to stop the run, but you give guys like A.J. Brown space. You give guys like DeVonta Smith space. And so, playing defense is a 11-man job. You can't stop one and think the other 10 are just going to follow. You got to stop all 11. Hopefully it's a great lesson for us where we learn and, come back better because of it.
You're probably just saying that the way to get through a loss like this is by leaning on having a mature team to shut the noise out. How much is that something that you guys rely on this week as veterans to kind of maybe just circle the wagons or at least keep everybody close from listening to outside noise?
There's no reason to circle the wagons. I think it's just we got AFC North championship ball in front of us. We're not going to run from that. We knew we were walking into, some tough games ahead, but we are not afforded a lot of time to feel sorry for ourselves. We have a chance to play an MVP caliber team with, Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. So that team is really good. And with this quick turnaround, it's not circling the wagons. It's, let's get it together because we got to get going. Not a lot of time is afforded to us.
Ken, the last few times you've been a 6 or 7 seed. What does it mean to have a chance to win the AFC North next week?
I think it just means we took advantage of our opportunities early. A lot of times we needed a lot of stuff to go our way. I think it was this team had to win, and this team had to win, and down the list we had to work our way towards that. I said this before: we're not trying to sneak into the playoffs. We're trying to, be one of the teams that you better be ready to play because we're heating up at the right time. So hopefully this is our last loss, but we got work to do.
Anything else? Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Whatever Kellen dials up, we knew what the first 5 plays were, and as an O-line, we were up for the task, and we just said, F it. We got to do our job up front, give this man as much time as possible. And holy cow, that was a hell of a game by 1, 11, and 6. So it ended up being the Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Smitty show. That was pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Kenny Gainwell as well. Shoot.
I feel like you maybe quieted some people that thought the passing game was an issue.
I don't really care if it quieted people or not. We're just trying to do our job, trying to win games. Found out 10 win streak is the highest one we've had. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Just keep playing the next play. So, yes.
Hello. You mentioned that it's always one game at a time, but that 10 straight wins, a franchise record, what does that mean to you?
Nothing. Doesn't mean anything. Don't worry about the next game. And everyone else knows that, so it's great to win games. It's cool to set records in history, but at the same time, we left a lot of plays out there, and it was a great win. Don't get me wrong, I'm not being down at all. But we're not focused on, chasing records or anything. But it's pretty good.
Lane talked all day. He said he woke up this morning thinking of TJ Watt all day and the challenge, and he didn't have any help. What do you think? How do you think he did out there?
That's my play of the match right there. Knowing that he had no help, that's my play of the match. He's a hell of a player. Like I said, I tell you guys all the time, that's the best tackle, that's the best O-lineman in the league by far. No one comes close, not even me. And that's why I say chasing greatness is a big thing for me. And I'm very privileged to have him on my team because chasing him makes me a better person.
When you watch what you did this week with that game plan mentioned that he was not going to have any help, do you kind of look at him a little bit? I know you got to focus on your stuff, but you kind of see his approach and kind of want to learn some things from it?
Yeah, if I give up a pressure, I like beat myself up because I'm like, damn. Now those guys are loaded, in that D line, but at the same time, it's not TJ Watt, and he did a heck of a job on TJ tonight. And
Jordan, what kind of toll does the QB take?
I'm fucking, pardon my language. I needed Landon. It is a toll on the body and the mind. The mindset you got to have is like attack dog.
Both of y'all? Wow. Like y'all someday, man.
Kai, come on, man. You can come in here if you want to, bro.
I don't want to.
Yeah, it's a lot on the body, but technique is everything, and the detailed technique is the only way you can execute that play. And in a way, I love it, but at the same time, I hate it. I hate it because of the toll, but I love it because I know it's going to work every time, except for tonight.
Jordan had last drive. I think he went 10-28. Drained off the clock.
Yeah.
You ever remember a drive like that? You guys have had a lot of sort of those 4-minute type drives.
I mean, I don't know. We just keep seeing the clock come down, but we look at the third down. We're like, all right, let's get this first down and keep playing the next play. And next thing you know, we're at the 2-minute mark. We're like, shh. That time flew by just like that, and now you're like, all right, what's the situation? Coach goes over this every Saturday. You're like, what's the situation? Like, they have 1 timeout left, or 0 timeouts. So like, all right, we got to get this first down here. And, everyone had that got a habit mindset, and that was pretty cool to see in the huddle. Everyone was keen on just getting the first down, moving the chains, and keep the time of possession up. So.
Along those lines, like as much as you guys were able to pass the ball and everything, like at the end, just kind of give the ball to Saquon and say, here.
Yeah, I mean that was tough. Moving the ball was tough. That was not an easy task. I mean, stat-wise, you see time of possession 10:31. You're like, oh, that's pretty dominative. It didn't feel like that. We had to earn every down. I mean, that was a great front and a great team that we played. And shoot, just proud of the boys for persevering and just keep pushing through.
Look, it kind of shows that you guys can, throw the ball if you have to. You can run out the clock if you have to. I mean, what kind of message do you think that sends?
Not concerned about the message that it sends. We're just concerned about playing good ball, protecting the ball. Didn't do a good enough job today. We got away with it with the win. But I think that's going to be one of the major concerns walking away from this is did we win the turnover battle? Just knowing how coach is. It's great to get the win, but we need to work on our ball security and extra effort to the ball if the ball does come out. So.
Sorry, Joe, been asked getting the fumble from the Steelers, one-score game, to turn that into a two-score game, with the game away, basically. To do that after tight games recently, where do you feel like that says about the offense right now?
The 1-2. The 1-2 to win games, the 1-2 to have time of possession very high. The detail that it takes to execute each block. I mean, that's what it tells me about our offense. What does it tell you? What is it saying to you guys? What do you guys think?
It's pretty complete today.
I'd say so. I'd say so.
To score also that they're picking up guys that are injured. Tyler, did you talk to him to kind of settle him in, or how did you feel like that?
You know what? This is why I love Coach Stout. He prepares us for every scenario, and during the week, that's why I believe that our depth is key to why we're so successful up front. It's because we all get reps. I've gotten reps with Steen during the week, this week, and Frey gets reps at right tackle. And Jack Driscoll comes in. I don't think did Jack even play a snap? No, because Lane came back out. Yeah. But we're prepared up front, and so that's a big up for the coaching staff, and especially Stout, just preparing us throughout the week, getting those guys ready. So whatever scenario we face out on the field, whoever goes down, the next man up mentality, those guys are ready. Steen was ready. I didn't have to say too much to Steen. Just told him I believe in you, and he's like, it's pretty easy.
You were adamant this week that the focus is the Steelers.
Yep.
With all that noise and speculation, you were adamant. So, what does it say about the way you guys performed today after all that noise?
Told you so. Told you we were focused on the Steelers, and that's all our business was. And I told you, maybe you guys will believe me now. Next time anything happens, and I tell you that, we're focused on this. I truly mean that. I mean, this is a different team than 22, 23, 24. We've done a good job of setting that culture of, don't let the outside noise creep into what we're building here. And I think it's a hats off to our leaders. Setting a great example of just keeping the main thing, focusing on the Pittsburgh Steelers and their team, and coming out and executing and getting the win.
Jordan, you've been blocking for Kenny for 4 years now. Does he do anything that might surprise you at all?
Who's this?
Kenny Gainwell.
I'm not surprised that whatever Kenny does, I'm not surprised, because he does it in practice. Whatever opportunity that he gets at practice, we see it on the film, and then we're not surprised that he makes those plays in the game, because he does that all the time. And he does it time and time again. When his number is called, he's always pushing to make a play, and that's why we love Kenny.
And I know it's only one game at a time, but you felt the energy in that stadium. The Lions losing today, the number one. They lost.
Tell me.
I'm here to break the news to you. Yes. So the number one seed still very much in play. How much are you guys thinking about that?
Yeah, I'm certainly not thinking about it. Just more concerned about getting my corrections. It's the same thing. It's the same recipe. I'm boring. It's the same recipe.
But you were excited the Lions lost. I felt that. I saw that.
No, I was just like, oh, wow. Okay. I knew the situation of, the one seed, but it's not like the focus. But, yeah, I'm not not too worried about that. We got to focus on winning our games, and however the chips fall for Detroit, that's under their control. But I can, again, sound like a broken record, but I can only control what we can control, and that's winning and losing for us. So
I don't know. It's just a game plan, I guess, and I don't know. I mean, we trying to do what we got to do to come out at the beginning of the game and get going fast and do what we got to do. Get the ball out to everybody. So I mean, we just trying to attack.
Guys, that fourth quarter, you guys were able to just basically take the air out of the game. Talk really about that last drive.
Oh man, we took it down. We had 10 minutes at the end of the game right there. So I mean, it's just us, playing situational ball, knowing that we up and let's stay up and go out and end the game, finish the game, man.
What kind of statement did you guys make today in your mind? I mean, that's a good team.
In my mind, I mean, we made a good statement, but at the end of the day, we got to keep going. We got a couple more games to go. We haven't done anything yet in my case, but at the end of the day, man, we just got to keep going and, finish.
The whole second half, the 3 long drives to put this in. What is it about this team in the second half that just wears teams?
This team is, tough, man. This team tough. We relentless. We want it, we want it real bad, and we want to win, man. I mean, that's what I see from everybody when I go out there, and I mean, it's on my mind all the time, I want to go out there and win, want to end the game, want to do what we had to do to make sure we get, like you said, take the breath out of anybody,
You heard about that Pittsburgh defense all week. How much pride is it to put a game away like that against that year?
Oh, man, it take a lot of pride, but, hey, we got to keep going. We got to keep doing what we got to do, man, and that's like going from every week before, and, like, just keep doing what we got to do and keep holding on to the ball. And
Kenny, on those 2 third-down plays, the one where you spun away from the guy and then split, later we split 2 defenders, are you thinking at all about what you're going to do once you catch the ball, or is it simply instinct takes over as soon as you get it?
It's kind of instinct, it takes over, but, once you see what you have in front of you, you gotta react fast. So that's what you seen me do, like I seen him coming low, react, and then, get up the field, try to get the first down, because we trying to get it going.
So how would you describe what this season has been like for you, being the understudy for a guy who's trying to break an NFL record, and when you're getting your chances showing, but how would you describe what your season's been like?
Man, it's been tough, but I'm taking full advantage of every opportunity I get, and every time I try to at least touch that field, I'm trying to make an impact, and leave my name out on that field, and I'm just trying to make a big impact every time I touch that ball.
How much has Saquon helped you throughout the year?
Saquon helped a lot. We go over a lot of things, and we basically like go over every defense as a running back group, and man, we just trying to do what we have to do to make sure we attack every team the right way.
I feel like we handle the outside noise amazing, and we just stay focused and do what we got to do. We keep the main thing, like Jay Hurts say, and one, keep us together.
And it really seemed like, especially on defense, the way you guys started this game, keeping the Steelers at bay, was crucial in this game. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, I feel the same about that. But, man, as long as we play tough and play hard and keep doing what we're doing and be violent, use our hands, I feel like we have a good squad.
And it seems like for you especially, things are really starting to click. We're seeing you clear tight ends, clear offensive linemen, getting those sacks. Do you feel more comfortable all of a sudden?
Yeah, I feel more comfortable, and most definitely, man, it's the love from the city, man. I just love Philly, and I'm happy to be here, and I try to do my best to give it all out on the field.
Speaking of the city, this crowd was so loud. Detroit Lions losing today, that #1 seed very much still in play. I imagine that's something you guys are thinking about right now.
No, we just one game at a time. We go 1-0 every week and keep the main thing, like we always say. Don't look forward and don't look behind.
Nolan, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
I mean, we were resilient. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't super explosive in the run game, but, we kept attacking. Had some things go our way. But, our passing game has definitely improved. And at the same time, you can't be one-dimensional. We don't want to be one-dimensional. We want to show that we can win both sides of the, passing and running. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a hard-fought game. I mean, you talk about the Steelers. They've always had trenches. They've always had great elite guys on the edge. So, it was a tough game.
We always talk about the play where TJ got hurt. Did it look like you knew something was
Yeah.
going on?
I guess he went around the edge, and then I saw him kind of like, I don't think nothing popped, but I saw him grab like the back of his knee. So yeah, man,
you don't want to see a player, any player, much less him, go through anything like that. Because I think he's probably the best player I've gone against. He's, his production is always up there every year. I think his effort, I think his arsenal moves. I think he's probably the most intelligent football players I've played against. Like I would say that he's unbelievable.
We always talk about, to your point about the long drive at the end, 4-minute offense. That was 10 minutes and 20, you'd say.
Yeah.
You've been around here for a long time. Do you remember that kind of drive?
Yeah, I mean, I remember ending games in that fashion. I can't say a specific one that matched it. I know it started like 6-yard line or 3-yard line, and we had a pass play, so I was thinking, do not let this guy sack Jalen in the end zone. So that's all I was thinking. But, it wasn't pretty, but we ended up making plays, keeping the drive alive. But, yeah, man, I'm exhausted. It was a tough game.
And Lane, what did you learn about your quarterback after all this week, all this noise? What did you learn about Jalen Hurts today?
Yeah, he's resilient. I mean, we hear the noise, but at the same time, like I was telling them, when we get inside the building, we're in our room with our coaches. I'm with Coach Stout 90% of the time. He's with Coach Nuss. But I wasn't here for the team meeting Wednesday. I was at a funeral, but I think there was olive branches extended. I think everybody kissed and made up, and sometimes brothers fight, and we have a lot of great players on this team. So that's really how I see it. Just brothers disagreeing, and it came out and answered the bell tonight.
And during the bye week, I know you mentioned how a lot of guys went to Coach Sirianni, wanted to run the ball, but then you see this week that everyone wants to pass the ball, and it's the first quarter. It seems like the problem is fixed wide away. What does that say about this coaching staff that they can fix it like that?
Yeah, well, we need to be a team that's good all around. Obviously we lean into the run game, play action, first part of the year. But the way, I guess, the game started, we had some good passing yards. The momentum grew, but, in the playoffs, if you're playing a good team, you got to find ways to win. So if they take one element away, you got to be able to adapt. So, hats off to Jalen and the receivers, and they made some crazy plays tonight.
Thank you.
It means a lot, but honestly, I forgot that we won 10 straight until you just told me that again. But I guess that's just the mindset with everybody. We won 10 straight, but 11 straight sounds better. 12 straight sounds even better. So we're going to have that mindset going in tomorrow, and, we're excited for next week.
And to have a healthy secondary, you back in the secondary, how much do you feel like that helped this defense today?
I feel like when I was gone, too, I mean, Tristan did a great job holding down my position. But, I feel like you play a lot with each other, and especially me coming back, hearing my voice out there, giving a lot of confidence to, the corners, to CD, talking to him a lot. It does make a difference, but, it's like I said, it's the next man up mentality. Like I said, Tristan did a great job last week, and we don't lose faith in anybody. So. And
that was a really good Steelers team that came into the link 10-3. What did this win tell you about your current team?
Man, we're willing to work. We're humble. We're hungry. We pride ourselves on being physical and tough, and we just love playing with each other. At the end of the day, just having fun. You walk in the facility every day and see smiles on people's faces. That's what it's all about, and everybody's having fun going to work. So
yeah. And speaking of that, Nick Sirianni, especially this week, seemed to really emphasize enjoying the wins. He talked about the pictures on the walls and showing in team meetings, the post-game celebrations. How different is that this season, and why do you feel like that had to make a change?
I mean, he said enjoy the win. Like we love to win. Don't get me wrong, but we're a competitive bunch, and if we don't win a certain way, we're mad at ourselves, and it just means the work needs to be done a little bit harder. So, like I said, I have confidence in everybody, and have faith with everybody. So I love playing for this team. I love playing for CD. Love playing for Slay. Everybody. So just trying to have fun with it.
And I know it's only one game at a time, but looking slightly ahead, the Lions lose today. Number 1 seed is still definitely in play. How much are you guys paying attention to that?
On our personal time, I guess. But we're more focused on what we got to do next week, and whatever happens, happens. We play Washington, so that's what we got our eye on. So.
They don't respect us. They don't know about our heart, man. That thing that's beating your doggone chest right now. Whatever you got today, I got to have.